everyone. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Gamers TV. I am Pixel here. Um, Full handle will be Pixelated Visionary, but I am joined by two of my friends here. We are looking to do this podcast for gamers, by gamers, to give you guys latest news, uh, reviews, and updates as we come along in our podcast. So I will go ahead and hand this over for the introduction to Punisher.
Hey guys, my name's Ezekiel. GTV Punisher is the handle, and like Pixel said, we're here to give you all the news, the tech. We're on top of it for you guys. Hope you like the conversation, and we'll throw it over to my man Tortuga.
Hey guys, so name's Kiri. You guys will hear me call Tortuga through the rest of the series. And like my friends just said, it's going to be a podcast where we're going to talk about games that we played, games that we're playing, games coming out, what we're excited for, the games we bonded over. And I mean, I've known these dudes, we're going on 20 years now almost. Well, Steven, I've known him my whole life, but Punisher, I've known him for almost 20 years. I mean, it's crazy. It's going to be a lot of history. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to have you guys join us.
Oh yes, yes. All right, that's the panel for today, guys, and we are gonna discuss some Xbox reveals. Everybody's hyped, right?
Definitely,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Everybody's
Um,
hyped.
yeah,
Some
the
serious
Xbox
tech
Inside.
action.
Oh man, I actually just got some information of a comparison from like the teraflops and everything, so I can't wait to go down that route. I guess we'll start
Go
with
ahead,
the
man.
recent Xbox. No, we'll go down the line as we kind of go through the trailers, which was a big thing that Microsoft actually got some controversy with because with the episode recap of their May 2020 Inside Xbox is what they're calling here. They labeled it as a gameplay trailer, but a big thing was that there wasn't really a lot of gameplay there. Everything looked pre-rendered using the in-game footage, but there was more like trailers here. It did look amazing, but we can definitely go down the line. Um, what did you guys think of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
It's like you said, man. Like we were all expecting gameplay, So it's like I can't even give expectations right now because yeah, these next consoles they're gonna be amazing, right? All those visuals and everything, always gonna look real good and prime. But just where's the gameplay? You gave us 4 minutes of gameplay and 22 minutes of trailers, and that's not what people was waiting for.
no, I agree. And I definitely watched it, and I feel like they went with the route of they used in-game mechanics and things that you can do inside of Valhalla to consider it quote unquote gameplay. But when you use that namesake, it's more so watching someone controlling a character and engaging with the surroundings and the environment. And we got an amazing trailer out of it. And they you get to see the crow, which I'm assuming is how they're going to incorporate Eagle Vision. Probably call it Crow Vision or something. But yeah, amazing masterpiece. But I kind of wish that I got to see someone playing one of the assassins.
Yeah, I think that was like the big thing, especially with a lot of the things that they're changing. I'm currently playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which has the same formula as Origins, with a little more RPG heavy. This one looks like it's going to be that way. A big criticism, however, of Odyssey was its length. The game itself felt a little too long for people, but Valhalla was already stated to be shorter. Um,
Wait. Since when was a long game a bad thing?
I know,
Do we
seriously.
do we
so
not want our money's worth when it comes to gaming?
It, I think it was again. I just started, so I'm just saying things that I've seen online myself. But the thing was that the game just felt too long. Maybe it was like extended unnecessarily or with filler content, not really heavy. But I'll find out. Like I said, I'm just going through it right now.
I mean,
Um,
people love The Witcher 3, and I'm pretty sure it was a longer game.
So Butcher 3, oh, that was phenomenal. But none of it really felt like filler content. Everything had a purpose or affected something later down the story.
Yeah.
I don't really feel that with this Assassin's Creed.
Mm,
Personally, 3 was like the last one that I fully enjoyed. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Syndicate was the last one I enjoyed. Um, but we can definitely get to that down the line. What do you guys think about the other trailers they showed? I think Bright Memory Infinite If I'm not mistaken, that was created by a Chinese developer by himself, using, I believe it was the Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah,
What do you guys think of that one?
that's
So real quick before we jump into anything, a great note for our listeners is going to be that I am horrible with names of people and titles to things unless it has a great impact in my life. So real quick, which game is this? Because not for nothing, there were about six trailers that look like it all takes place in either Japan or Hong Kong or something.
it
No,
was
this
So
one
which game?
looks like. Did you play Titanfall?
No.
No. Well,
it
this
was their
one
first
was
one though.
the first person shooter. Yeah, it's like one of the first trailers
It's
they
Oh,
came
the
out.
Mirror's Edge looking thing.
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was
It
the
was.
first one. Yeah, it's the first one they played, and when it started, I was like, that's how you hype me up, right? Like you show that trailer and you get the party started. You know what I'm saying? So I'm there looking at it, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh snap, because it's looking great. And then they mentioned one developer, so I'm thinking not indie because it has AAA like features, but it's if it was done by one developer, it's not like a AAA game, you know. But it
I
looked.
mean, if anything, this shows us now that developers have a platform that can handle almost anything thrown at it, what kind of quality we're going to start receiving when it comes to games.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm super hyped for this generation that's going to come out this year.
yeah, and that's
I'm
a
gonna have
60
to agree there.
FPS game. So it looked beast. It looked, and
You know,
that's like all the gameplay we got was that trailer basically.
taking a look, however, at the all the reveals of the tech specs of the Series X, I kind of don't expect anything to be under 60. Is that just me? With everything that they're pushing with the teraflops, the DDR6 of RAM, everything should run pretty smooth.
You
But
would
that's
think
just
that,
me.
Yeah.
right? But Valhalla, for whatever reason, right? This is now on a third party developer. They have that game running at 30 FPS, and I don't understand why. That like
Ubi usually does that though. Ubisoft, they do usually cap theirs. Even the Tomb Raiders.
there should be no reason for that. Not on these next gen consoles.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Do
Um,
you think it's just laziness so that it can work on older consoles like the PS what 3,
is Valhalla
4,
going to be
and
released on the Xbox One? I do not know.
I don't see why not.
I don't see why not either. I just don't know.
Oh yeah, on the the normal Xbox, yeah, and that's a
Oh
good
well, maybe
point.
that's why.
Maybe that's why they got the 30 FPS, right? So it could like back function. But you have games that go up and down now with the Pro and the Norm, you know. So it shouldn't be that difficult, especially with the new tools they have and the better hardware.
No, I agree. And actually, I didn't know they were capping at 30. It's kind of a shame. It's such a beautiful game that
It is.
it actually kind of breaks my heart a little bit to hear that they're going to cap it at 30. Even on PC, that's insane.
No, PC usually
No,
has no PC. They usually remove it. It's more for the consoles where they lock it in.
Oh, that's a shame. Such a shame.
There were a couple others, but honestly, I wasn't too impressed. Some of them look good, but not for me. One of the big ones was Chorus, which got a lot of flack because they're what was it? The actual logo of Chorus, instead of a U, has a V, so that definitely confused a lot of people. But
what did you
it's
think
the
about that
space fighter
trailer?
game, which looks fun, but I don't think I would get it. But that's just me.
No,
We
I
have
think I'm
another.
with you because the trailer didn't really show us nothing, right? You just basically see that plane riding around, and it,
Right,
they don't
right.
really give you a sense of what you're gonna be doing in this game. It's just a whole a bunch of like flashy trailers, you know.
There was one that I personally really enjoyed. That was that Scarlet Nexus. I think it was a girl with, I want to say it was pink hair. She looked like she had some sort of telekinesis, psychokinesis, in some sort of cyberpunk
Wait, that
universe.
was a chick?
I think it was a chick.
Oh, it reminded me of Kirito from Sword Art Online. And I instantly thought that it was a Sword Art Online game when I saw that trailer.
There have been a couple that have not been my cup of tea, and I feel like they have such a good market that they can work on there. But we'll take a look. What was his name? It was like Yuito Sumeragi. I think it is a guy, actually. Maybe I was wrong.
But yeah, no, I saw that. I thought it was super cool. It looks very, very unique. Definitely an original take when it comes to like a story, from what I can tell. I was excited to see it. I don't know if I would buy it on release, but I'd definitely be interested in hearing some feedback on anyone that plays it.
There was a wow, which one was it? Um,
You want to go right down the list here, and we'll see what we thought. So then, after that, Memory Infinite, they showed a Dirt 5. I don't think like it looks beautiful, but very generic racing game.
I've never been. That's a rally one, I think, right? Is that the rally one?
It's just Dirt 5. It doesn't. That's the title.
Yeah,
So
I've
we
never.
wouldn't know.
I mean, racing games for me, I don't think I've enjoyed one since like Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation 1. Uh,
Jeez, I'm more of a
yeah.
Need for Speed kind of racer, so
Oh, Need for Speed Most Wanted. I lied. Was that 2002,
And those
2003? Yeah, that
underground
was fun.
games, so good.
yeah, yeah, those were amazing
But
All
that
both
was
right.
it.
times.
EA kind of
Yeah.
did
Then
the
we
thing with those and just beat a dead horse.
then they jumped and they got really weird on us with that
Hmm.
creepy trailer.
Yeah,
Not
which
much to
I
say
found.
here exactly. We have Madden 21 coming out. Um,
Yeah, I saw that.
What you thought about that little clip they made for Madden? I mean, I thought they were gonna show off the new game, so I was waiting for it. But then you just see the little clips, which is cool. It was a cool concept. You see the little from like to the first Madden they ever made all the way till now. Uh, but they didn't really show nothing of the new one.
I mean, you know how I feel about sports games in general. I feel like it's all copy paste and change the number at the end, and then they send it out on
Yeah, which
release.
is really upsetting. I hope they do a lot more, especially with the capabilities they have now. Like a lot more.
But I don't see why they would. They're still gonna get the same buyers every year. They're still gonna make the same amount of money every year. I
it's
don't
true.
see why they would change the formula.
I mean,
There's no incentive for them.
very few games have suffered like that. What suffered recently? I think it was the WWE, right? The 2K, whatever wrestling that one was, the 2020. Oh, that thing bombed. It did so bad they're not even doing a 2021 release.
Wow.
People
Yeah,
had
it
so
was
much
just
fun with it
riddled
though.
with bugs.
But I mean, that's another game that's been copy and pasted for how long, and
It's
it's
true.
literally just a roster update at the end of the day. That's all it is. It's a roster update, which can easily be DLC.
All right, so that creepy game they hit us with, that one was named Scoring. So again, we don't really see what it's about. They didn't show any gameplay on that one. It's basically just that trailer. Um,
I think that one was announced a while back, if I'm not mistaken.
it probably was, but that was the world premiere of them showing it. And then we jumped to
I don't
the
know. I enjoyed it. The trailer alone, it got me hooked. It had me thinking, what the hell is going on? What are these things? And then I was actually watching more of like that dungeon slash like that just that room that they were in. It looks like whatever those creatures were had nothing to do with how those things, how that room was originally created. Like it was another entity that they somehow invaded and took over. And then you had creatures frozen in time. I don't know. It definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. They had like people like almost like a vampire would sleep, but something else was going on that roof.
Yeah, yeah, I got that vibe.
Yeah, that was
It
creepy.
definitely sounded very vampiric, and then it came to life with what looked like being fed blood.
Yeah. Actually, I know it's jumping ahead on the list a little bit, but since it's the same genre, the medium one actually got my attention more than Scorn did.
Really,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it
Um,
showed us more of like the story a little bit, right? Like of
right,
what was
right. Maybe
going on
that was it. Like you're in like two worlds, right? You're in the regular world and I guess whatever that dark, haunted, spiritual world, and you kind of
I
alternate
don't know.
between the two.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks interesting. It definitely looks. It looks like one of those games that it will take me like days or if not weeks to beat because it's probably gonna be so much content to run through.
All right, and then they hit us right with this vampire dancing around a Christmas tree. What you guys thought about this?
So Vampire the Masquerade, the Bloodlines ones, it is a sequel, right? And it is pretty hyped up because you essentially take over Vampire and you could like turn people. It has a lot of the RPG elements. Um, I am a little excited. Vampires aren't normally my thing, but as I've gone through uh, my tenure of gaming, if you will, um, the story in the single player is kind of where I've been leaning, minus a little Valorant here and there. Checking out that beta. Um, I enjoy it. I really want to see what this has to offer, because again, this is one of those where your decisions will affect that story. Because I think it's like another faction between factions or something. So we'll see what they have to offer as we get closer to release.
I will say this with the trailer, the way it started, I honestly thought it was a We Happy Few 2. And I was surprised because I'm like, this game just came out, but it almost was like the same artwork
I
and
was
the
getting
same
that
like
vibe too,
movements.
especially when I saw the dancing and the weird faces.
Yeah.
I was
And then the music, and
yeah.
then I honestly was taken aback. I mean, I was a little put off at the vampire, like the girl in the nightclub who was a vampire, which I was like interesting. So it's not We Happy Few, but then it was a vampire, and I was like, oh, that's not what I expected, but it did look pretty good. Definitely would play. It just seems to me as if we were playing Skyrim and you became a vampire, and that's all you get to do. So it's almost as if someone created an entire world. I don't know anything about Vampires of the Masquerade 1 or anything before this trailer.
Yeah, it's
I know
it's
I
Bloodlines
know that
too.
there's a
So
tabletop. Yeah, I
Oh,
know that there's a tabletop for this type of game, which you know I may look into depending on how I get on with the game that's coming
there
out.
we actually missed one. Can't believe this. The Ascent, the kind of cyberpunk isometric kind of game. Did you guys happen to catch that? I'm pretty sure that was in there as well. Almost looks similar to that Halo Spartan Assault. If you ever played that standalone Halo game,
yeah,
it's like right the two joystick, right, one to control, one controls like the camera. That looks pretty good.
it almost
Again,
looks
not
like in the
normally.
same vein of like Cyberpunk, only top down and a whole
Yeah,
darker scene.
I definitely got a Diablo 3 vibe watching that trailer
That's the
for
one.
sure.
Yep, Diablo 3, the recently released Darksiders Genesis. Um, yeah, no, I'm kind of curious to see what that'll be like. I don't know if it has.
I feel like that could be fun.
Yeah, it can. I think personally, I don't think I'd play it alone. Definitely more of a co-op
Right.
game for me.
Right, exactly. Same when we play Diablo. It's honestly just to have fun together. I mean, it's fun by yourself, but I definitely enjoy Diablo a lot more with the co-op.
There's and then the last one, which looks like it's going to be um, uh, Xbox only, to my knowledge, or going to be a launch title, the Yakuza Like a Dragon,
Hmm.
another installment in the Yakuza series. I'm not. Uh, I've never played one. They really have not grasped my attention. It might have been because it's been more on Sony. But we'll see what that has. Again, it is going to be a launch title. Um, and they are also doing the same thing that Cyberpunk 2077 is doing, where if you are purchasing the title on the Xbox One, you will be getting a free upgrade to the Xbox Series X. I hope to see more developers do that in the future and see what that's going to do to sales. I mean, I've bought Grand Theft Auto 5, what, 4 or 5 times with all the
Hmm.
releases. Um,
Yeah.
and so most of them have been in retail, so that would have definitely been great. So we'll see what that does for future titles. So again, that's already two confirmed titles: the Yakuza Like a Dragon and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, there's a couple. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is another one. It's they call it the smart delivery. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla has it. Call of the Sea, that's another game that we missed. That one looks like Sea of Thieves, but more like a story mode, which kind of intrigues me because I think Sea of Thieves is a great fun game if you did have like a story mode path to
Okay.
follow. I
I
would have
feel I
definitely
feel
beat
like
that.
they try to have a story. I mean, because there kind of is a story. You're looking for some long lost treasure, and the only way to eventually get that quest is to unlock other things. So like, there's a story overall in that sense to unlock whatever that is we're looking for. But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, like actual interaction, actual actors and voice actors, and um, but I don't know. Yeah, I still didn't think that the call was that good
No,
based
it's
on.
yeah, you're right. It's like an indie game, right? Like that's basically another one that they were showing us, like an indie game. It looks beautiful though. It looks like Sea of Thieves, maybe a little bit better because it's on new hardware. But I'm curious a little bit to see if that's just like a story mode based in that universe, kind of.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
So Cyberpunk 2077 is another one on smart delivery. Dirt 5, Gears 5, Halo Infinite, Madden NFL 21, Rainbow Six Siege, Scarlet Nexus, The Ascent, The Second Extinction, Vampire, Bloodlines 2, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Those are the ones they announced on smart delivery so far.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
surprised it's not all of them. Every game that's coming out this year.
Well, they can't make that decision for other developers,
No, I know. It's just like,
yeah,
ah,
but some already
but
said yeah.
I understand the technology and the work involved to port it into a whole nother console and making sure the bugs are cleared out for that. It takes time, it takes work, but it's as a consumer, it hurts to have to rebuy games.
Hmm. There's, I mean, that smart delivery, I think, will be a big game changer. I think Microsoft, when they announced the, what was that announcement? Was it for the Xbox One when they wanted to go to that DRM kind of online only, right? I think
Hmm.
a lot of that backlash had to do, I want to say it was mainly with confusion on what exactly they were trying to do. Because think of how many purchases we already do online. I personally cannot remember the last time I bought a physical game. I mean, I would love collector's edition, but they either sell out so fast for the ones that I do want to play, or they are just too expensive, out of budget. It is.
So
Mhm.
I will say I'm still an advocate for physical games over digital games, but I'm slowly moving into digital only due to convenience, right? Before when digital was coming up, and it was like about 50-50 digital and physical. Amazon had an amazing deal where you would take what was 20% off the top off of the value of a game when you pre-ordered through Amazon. So you would get a physical game for about $45, 46, $47 after taxes.
Yeah, so already on sale, brand new game. That's beautiful.
Brand new game in the 40s, and so I was buying physical. I still have games that I haven't opened from the plastic because I was buying games left and right, pre-ordering them from Amazon.
Didn't Best Buy have something like that they recently stopped as well?
Yeah,
I think they had some sort of like club or kind of
yeah. I think you had to be a member. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But then Amazon took it off, and it was like $10 max discount on a pre-order game, and I don't even see that being offered on every game anymore. I don't know if I'm just missing something now, but I'm definitely leaning more towards digital when it comes to newer games.
It's just the convenience, like you said. It's just you can just uninstall it, install it whenever you want, and if you buy a new box, you don't have to worry about carrying disc over to that box. You just download your name, everything comes over. It's a beautiful, convenient thing.
I will throw in 2 points. Is it really convenient when you pre-download a game and as soon as you turn it on, you have a new update gonna take you half a day to download it to play the game?
That's
I don't think so.
Well,
that's
I
true.
mean,
And
you
then
still have to do with the physical one though,
right, exactly. I was gonna say physical isn't even physical. It's just a disc that says you bought the game. Now go online and download
That
it.
bothers me.
and on top
That's
of that,
why
you
I
have to
rather
enter the disc to play it.
Yeah, that's why I rather
Exactly.
download because that bothers me a lot. Like a lot. It's not like the old days where you pop in your disc and the game starts loading up. Nope.
Oh, speaking of old days and turning the game in and just playing it, Halo 3. You guys remember the midnight release for that?
No.
What? Oh my god, I know it was a long time ago, but just midnight releases in general, where you get to go wait in line with other gamers and talk about whatever game you're in line for. Grab it, take out your receipt, take it out of GameStop, go home, pop it in, maybe a small patch, and then you're online playing in less than an hour. those were the days. You
Yeah,
can't do that today.
You
no, you
definitely
can.
can't. I mean, what was a big one? Batman Arkham Knight, right? The end of that trilogy. The game had such a massive um patch like day one. It was incredible. It still gets flack to this day because of that. And it's like, what? Where's the quality? Where's it? Your quality analyst? Where are your
Yeah,
testers? Like, what are they doing throughout this period? It's like everyone's just trying to get the game out as soon as possible, and they're not
yeah.
taking the 3-4 years in between games to really kind
But
of iron out
it's
those
a
bugs.
risk. It's a risk, right? You have to have enough money in the bank to be able to support a project for that long.
That's true, especially with all the polygons, the graphics, the artists. I
Yeah.
get that everything has evolved in that aspect, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's my old man coming out. Old man at 31.
I
Uh,
mean, the only way you buy a new release game now is when they let you like pre-download it, right? And then midnight comes out,
Right.
they unlock it, and you could play it right away. But that's the
But
only.
I have seen it where that happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's a quick update, a last minute update
Oh
that
yeah,
wasn't part of the pre-download, and it's 20, 30, 50 gigs.
pros and
Like,
cons, my man. Pros and cons.
I don't know about you, but I don't have that much space on my Xbox anymore, even with my external, because all these games are downloading so much updates and content that I can't keep up anymore.
I hear you. And now we got to deal with those external terabyte drives that we need to buy additional ones if we want more space. It's kind of crazy, and games are 150 gigabytes. Is crazy. Let's keep moving right down the list here, guys. So, what do you guys think? The Last of Us Part 2, right? It was supposed to come out May 29th. We were almost going to get our hands on this game. And then, boom, all this happens. They move it back to June 19th. So, people still going to get it at least this summer. I thought they might have waited to like the PS5 release, but they
well,
didn't. They actually
you
giving it
you
to
got
us.
to remember this, man. So the first Last of Us was also one of the last titles to come out on the PS3, right? So now we have the end of the life of the PS4. Last of Us, you got to remember, with that May release date, it was indefinitely postponed in April, right? They legitimately said this is it, right? Where we have to postpone the game, and it had to do with everything going on with the current pandemic, right? COVID-19. Um, we have to dive in a little bit more on this because there's a reason they re-announced this release date. There was a big leak as far as the story goes in April as well. There have been many rumors kind of circulating through one of our favorite sites, Reddit, um, of where the leak came from. The most common theory is that it was carried out by a disgruntled employee of the studio. But Sony has since identified who hacked the game, right? So it is not a Naughty Dog employee, just to kind of clear that up.
So they
But
say.
because, well, no, that's, Sony confirmed it, officially. But that does bring into this, because of this leak, I think to avoid any further damage to all the hard work the developer has put into this, they did announce that June release date worldwide. And that was the biggest concern because of the current pandemic, that they didn't want certain people to get hands on their game while people in other parts of the world could not. They were kind of forced their hands on this because of that, again, unfortunate leak. But I can't say I'm not excited. It's definitely something that I've been wanting to play, and I'd like to see how the story is going to continue, since we're now going to be in control of Ellie, who was more of a support role character in the last game. Um, so I'm definitely curious to see on that. Kyoto, I don't believe you have played Last of Us. Is that correct?
No, I have not. And I was actually gonna ask if you can give me like what's this game about? Like what's the hype? Like I get it's kind of like a story type game, and you can
Yes.
there's like choice A and choice B, and you literally change the outcome of the entire story based out of from all these decisions.
Not The Last of Us. The Last of Us is more narrative driven.
Yeah.
The main thing is, I think, is the emotional impact of the game. So,
Hmm.
let's say it starts off current day, right? Is some sort of virus. We've seen it before. Resident Evil, World War Z, right? There's just a virus out there, right? the first one starts with you play as Joel, right?
Okay.
He's I think like from Texas, somewhere down south, and it starts off with the night where everything in his town kind of gets crazy, and he has a teenage daughter, and she ends up getting killed. Basically, he
Okay.
was almost scot free. They were going to make their escape, and it was actually the military. It wasn't like the virus that got her. So we fast forward, I think it's like 20 years or something. So he was like 30 around that time. So he's got to be in his 50s somewhere in the first game, and he gets tasked with bringing this teenage girl to the base of the resistance in another city. Right, they're called the Fireflies, and it's just
Don't
the
tell him
actual
the whole story.
well, I'm
Relax.
just trying to give them a recap. So, on this journey to go over there, you find out the reason you're bringing this girl over there is because she was bitten by one of these zombies, but she hasn't turned. So, it's like she has some sort of
Like an
antibody to
immunity.
this.
Cool.
So now she's older. I think she's like 18 or 20 in the sequel. And there was a major decision at the end of the game that I kind of don't want to see in the case of any of our viewers haven't played it, but
No, no, I definitely I might play it. It sounds very intriguing. I was just curious, like what it was. I didn't know it was about zombies at
It's a
all.
good it's a good story
and it's
game.
more
It's
stealth
like
gameplay, which I
yeah.
appreciate. But it's the story, man. One of the things I love about Naughty Dog in this aspect is I personally feel that they have grown with us. What I mean by that is my first experience with Naughty Dog was Crash Bandicoot, fun, wild, kooky platformer, right? Um, Gave competition to a lot of the ones on the other platforms. By the time I hit my teenage years, they had come out with a Jack and Daxter series, which was a bit more mature, still a little on the quirky side, but fun to play. Had an also amazing story, in my opinion. And then I'm an adult now, and they give us The Last of Us. So it's almost like not that they were catering to us, but I just feel it's a closer connection I have to the developers because they've been around for so long. And what they've given us, I personally feel that they've kind of aged with us as a developer, and then me as a consumer of their story and of their products.
So, would you say that this company is perhaps tailoring the games around your interests?
I wouldn't say the interest portion, but I think the stories within their games definitely have. Because didn't Naughty Dog also do the Uncharted series, Batulio?
Yeah.
Right. So then there was Uncharted as well. Um, I didn't play 3 or 4, but when I did play 1 and 2, you could kind of see how with the age of the game how the story progressed, and it was more of a real adventure, and you do feel like you're there.
They all cater to Pixel. They all cater to Pixel.
Here we go. Now we're not starting that
So
in here.
Tortuga,
We're not starting
let
that
me
in
hit
here.
you with this question, right? So because you haven't played part one, you probably will play it one day. The action is great in the game. Trust me, it's a good game, right?
What game are we
So
talking about? Let's start there. What game
The
are we talking
Last
about?
of Us. So with part
All right, all
two,
right.
what happened with part two is right. I didn't jump into any of this because I don't like anything spoiled for me, you know. So I want to go in with a nice clear head. I just know what happened in part one, and now I'm jumping in, you know. But I guess on Reddit and YouTube, and they had clips. A lot of people got the game spoiled for them, right? Because of these leaks. So how would you
Right.
feel if you're excited about this game and all of a sudden, boom, spoiled?
I'd be upset. 100%. Especially a game, the way Pixel was describing it, where they put so much time and energy, such story, such rich story, to just, you're curious what's gonna happen next, and then to just have it completely spoiled for you. You just rip out that experience right under me. I would be 100% upset.
Yeah,
Even
I'll
though it's
be
not a
upset.
game that I've ever played, I never thought I would ever play The Last of Us. I've seen the name here and there. I didn't know what it was about until 5 minutes ago, but I would definitely be upset. Like it sounds like it was a massive deal. And I think you said Sony was is developing this, releasing this.
Right?
No,
Yes,
Naughty
yes. So
Dog.
it is going to be a Sony exclusive at the moment. The first one was too.
Oh, yeah. So I think they did the right call on pushing it to the right and making sure that they can change it where this leak doesn't do damage to the fans. I mean, they're doing this for the fans. They could have just released it and collected whatever they got out of it, but
So
I
would
mean, they're
you
putting in
would
the
you
extra
still buy
money,
the game like day one, or do you
knowing that that it was changed. Yeah,
yeah, like,
I would.
would you
But here's
understand
the
somebody's
thing.
choice to not buy the game because it got spoiled, or you think, nah, they would still give them the benefit of the doubt? The developer did say, like, all right, you saw some things, but maybe out of context, you don't know the whole story. So he's,
That's the other thing. There's no way, like you're still gonna have an original experience. Like you may in the back of your mind be like, oh, this event is going to happen, but you're never gonna know when
yeah,
in the
yeah,
story it's gonna happen.
yeah,
You
exactly.
you're not gonna know how. I mean, was the ending spoiled by chance? I mean, I don't even know what the leak was. I didn't know what this game was until not so long ago.
I wouldn't even go into the leaks if I knew what they were, but thank God I don't know what they are.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying, if the ending
avoiding
wasn't
it like the
spoiled,
plague.
yeah, if the ending wasn't spoiled, I mean, there's no reason
I think
not
it
to. You're
was.
still gonna. Oh, if the ending was spoiled, then no, I would not buy the game. If that was the case, the ending was spoiled for me. I would not buy the game if the developers did not change the storyline.
So that's the thing. They're not changing anything. They just decided to release the games to avoid any additional um, spoilers for people, around the world who might have access to the internet but don't have access to the game. So they wanted to have a worldwide release so it doesn't ruin it
So
for other people.
the exact same game that was leaked completely is still getting released as it was the way it was leaked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I would not. I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy it.
But here's the thing: if you did not, if it wasn't spoiled for you, what difference would that make?
If it wasn't spoiled, no, I would buy it. I'm talking. I'm answering Punish's question.
Oh,
If it
oh,
was spoiled for me, would I buy it? I would not. If it, I thought the game was being changed, in a way where it wouldn't really matter that it was leaked. I
man,
didn't know that we were releasing the exact same thing.
don't even get me started. Gears of War 3, the Bioshock series. Um, what else? So many games have been spoiled through me throughout the years, as I've been playing with them. One of my biggest pet peeves is the spoiling of endings of games either I'm currently playing or plan to play in the future. Someone in one of our group chats is notorious for that. Get it? Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I wouldn't. I honestly would not. Maybe I'll get it like on a sale when it's down to like 10-15 bucks, a couple years from now.
Right,
But yeah,
right.
if it was ruined for me, I definitely wouldn't.
I'm with you on that. I mean, spoilers, it's a sign of respect, right? Because it's a passion that you have towards something. And to literally just sweep someone's rug under their feet just because you wanted to just spoil something, knowing how passionate they are about, it's just there's just a magic in the essence of discovering something for yourself, seeing something for the first time, learning something without the input from an outside source,
Agreed.
and to have it ruined for you, it's, I don't know, it is, to me, it's a bannable offense. People should probably be thrown in jail for 30 days to think about what they've done and just fine them somehow. Like there should be some kind of punishment for spoiling anything, TV shows, movies, ending of books, ending of games, like you name it. It's just
Oh,
you're
you
you're
best
robbing
believe
someone of
Sony
an
is
experience.
investigating that, and there would be repercussions.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they should get Nintendo on the case to help them out because Nintendo catches literally almost any leak of any
The
kind.
Nintendo ninjas.
Those lawyers play no games, but no, I wouldn't do it. I mean, luckily, and I'm sorry for anyone who's listening who has had the game leaked and they were looking forward to it, but luckily, I've never played Last of Us. I don't know what the leak was about, and if I like the part one, I may play part two, depending on how I feel about part one. And I'm assuming part one's available everywhere, right? It's not exclusive to anything,
No,
is it?
it's still exclusive to PlayStation.
So as I was saying, I would never buy the game no matter what happens because I will never buy a PlayStation. Moving on.
so, so kind of moving away. Last of Us. Be careful what you see online. Avoid certain topics like the plague if you don't want the game ruined for you. But
I
yeah.
will say this.
hmm
Quick disclaimer for our podcast: you will not hear any spoiler of any game. Either we will warn you if it's something we must talk about for whatever reason. I can't think of any, but if there is, we will definitely warn you that it's a spoiler for X game. So you get enough, time, and we'll try to I'll try to edit it to tell you what minute to go to in order to skip the entire spoiler. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But overall, there we won't speak of any spoilers. We'll probably speak of something that we're like, oh, so hype, and we'll like beat around the bush about certain events, but definitely no spoilers. And we'll speak to books about this because that's something I cannot handle.
Yeah,
I
definitely
can't.
not.
I can't.
Yeah, no.
I hear you, bro.
Agreed.
I hear you. So yes, moving on. We have to talk about the unfortunate absence of the E3 gaming convention this year because of the current pandemic. Um, a lot of publishers and developers are attempting to fill that void with live stream digital events of their own. Um, Jeff Keighley, who is the creator of the Game Awards, announced that he has his own version of the E3 2020 replacement. He labeled it Summer Game Fest, which has been described as a blend of in game events, free playable content, and breaking news. The Summer Game Fest is set to run from May to August, so it looks like it has already started. And it does have a long list of developers and publishers who are looking to participate. Like 2K, Bandai, Bethesda, CD Projekt Red, Activision, to name a few. So I'm actually really curious to see what's going on there. A lot of the companies participating will be hosting events of their own to be broadcasted all over the internet on platforms such as Facebook, Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, likely YouTube as well, and even the publisher's own channels. The extent of that particular participation within these events has not been clarified for us. So we'll see what that goes. But I am curious to see what that's going to envelop and when the next one is going to be, and see what we got going on there. What do you guys think of the lack of E3 this year and the uptake of the Summer Game Fest?
So, with my unprofessional opinion when it comes to marketing, I think E3 is gonna die based off this. I mean, what reason are we gonna have for E3 moving forward when developers can just have their own digital online releases and reveals? What's the point of paying that much money to have a seat at E3? I don't see it, recovering from this unless there's something that developers receive on their end. Like all they have to do is keep doing these online platforms. Majority of the people that see these reveals, they watch online live on either on Twitch when Twitch started promoting the E3, or on YouTube and or from their favorite like newsletters where they get daily updates as trailers come out. I don't see a reason why we need E3. I love the idea that we have a dedicated like season or time, like a week or two of new releases and what's to come this year, next year, projects that are being worked on, reboots that are coming back, sequels, prequels. Like I love that energy, that hype that comes to those reveals, but I don't necessarily see why we have to stick with E3 as the reason we get that content.
I mean, it's definitely been on a downhill, right? Like PlayStation hasn't been there for what, like 2 years now, and
Right.
I don't even think I don't even think they're
Sony in general, right? It's not
yes,
just PlayStation
yeah,
too. It's
Sony
Sony
in
in general.
general, yeah. Um, Nintendo's doing more directs, so they
Right.
cut back on it too, and I'm pretty sure,
We have
especially
Xbox Series doing the same thing.
Yes,
I'm
yes, they're
pretty sure
doing their
after all this,
monthly.
once they see the digital thing works, they're probably gonna stick with it like more and more often.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to be said to have that energy in a room and to have the gaming community all together, like that's special. And but they still
But
have
who gets that money?
well, they still have events
Those
for that.
ticket
That's what I'm
holders.
saying. There's already
Right.
events that do that. So E3 is probably, just going on a downhill slope.
Well, there's
I
two
think
big
so.
ones. There's the GDC, the Game Developers Conference, which is a very, very big one. That one, and I think I'm sorry, James, Gamescom over in Germany actually very recently announced that it's still going to be open, which is the interesting thing. They're still doing it, but it's going to be all digital. So why wouldn't E3 follow that same kind of a path? You know, why wouldn't they do it in the same aspect that these other events are doing, or even right, like we mentioned, the Summer Game Fest was created just for this purpose, for this online exposure for the upcoming games. Um,
Now, on that note, does that mean that Summer Game Fest is for? Here, let me rephrase my question. Is Summer Game Fest the result of a replacement for E3 due to COVID, or was this something that was going to come out anyways this year as an alternative and something else that was happening on the side to E3?
No,
to
this
my
is
knowledge,
something.
it was just because of COVID.
Hmm.
Not even it. Like this wasn't a thing. Like literally, this Jeff Keighley, right? Because he hosts a lot of like game events for them. um, literally, he wasn't even going to E3 this year, right? Before
That
when
was a big
E3,
thing. Yeah, that was a big thing that
yeah,
he was
when E3 was
not
still
going to
going
do it.
on, like still scheduled, he wasn't gonna be a part of it, and that was like a big thing on Reddit, and it was tweeted a whole bunch of times, and he was trying to explain like it's not the same or something. He something to that knowledge. And then but now he's doing this, which is kind of cool because he saw E3 like canceled, and now he's trying to do his
Right.
own thing, and he's used to hosting these game events.
So you're basically telling me this guy has experience with hosting big things when
Yeah,
it comes to gaming,
Yeah.
and we can expect good things once this starts happening.
yeah.
Do we know how long this is gonna take?
I don't know what he did in May, but right for June, there are currently three major things being planned. He actually is in collaboration with Valve, and there's actually an event. Looks like it's going to be a week long from June 9th to June 14th for the Steam Game Festivals. Um, and it looks like they're also even providing the availability to download some of these games that are going to be announcing the
Yeah,
same
that's
way
what I
you
was.
would without the wait in lines.
Yeah.
So
Whoa,
why
that's huge.
right. The second event in June looks like that's going to be the 11th, um, or might still be to be determined according to SummerGameFest.com. Is there's going to be a special broadcast for one of my most anticipated games, Cyberpunk 2077, directly from CD Projekt Red. And then also looks like on June 11th, this one was updated with the time. From 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. EA, right? Electronic Arts will be going over games on their plate that they're working on. So that's currently it for June. Um, we can potentially take some time for July and August as we get closer to those. But that's currently what we have. So I mean, with the Steam one, I'm excited for it, to be honest, because I've never been to one, but everything that I see is either long lines to even try these demos that they have. You're waiting in line for hours at a time to get a taste 10, 15 minutes before you
Right.
get off. So I think this is a good direction forward. Based on his Twitter, looks like the account wasn't even created till the end of April. Um, for some Game Fest, anyway. So I'm excited to see where this is going to go forward.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I mean, it's like you said, right? Like this excite me right here because it says like Steam, Xbox, and other unspecified platforms will offer playable, right? So playable limited time demonstrations and trials of select game content as part of the program. So this means like this is all digital. There's nobody there. So they're gonna literally, I
Right.
guess, implement it where you can download a trial and you're gonna be able to freaking try these games out, which is amazing while
Right.
they're
Yeah.
announcing it. That's pretty cool.
I I am excited. I mean, you you always think in the back of your mind like, oh, I wish there was a way we can advance and do things differently. Why do I, like you said, wait in line for an hour, 2 hours to play for 5-10 minutes? I can imagine when Breath of the Wild was coming out, that line at Nintendo just to play that small little map area. That line was crazy to just be able to do this digitally at home comfortably. It's, I don't know, it's amazing. I am quite happy. I'm 100% going to be paying attention, watching these releases live if I'm working. Sorry, boss, I'm watching it. It's just I
Good
need to
day.
know what's coming out. What I have access to once I get home. I need to be in the know. There's no way that I can just sit back and wait until the end of the day to then find out something that I could have found out earlier. No, I'm super excited, and I can't wait to cover it with you guys when we do our weekly podcast.
Definitely, definitely. So that I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Um, Now with everything that's going on with these announcements, I'd like to take some time and talk about a release that Epic Games did a couple days ago. They put out a trailer for the Unreal Engine 5. Um,
Running on the PS5, and it looks amazing. Like
yeah, yeah.
it.
So what do you guys think about that? Do you take the time to watch that?
So I haven't seen it, but since the beginning of Epic's entry to gaming, I have been advocating for Unreal Engine for the longest time. Every single time that anything comes out that's done on the Unreal Engine, it is just blown. My mind is blown every time. When what was it? I think Gears 3 took hold of an Unreal Engine 4, if I remember right,
Yeah.
or Unreal Engine 3 or 4, and it just completely changed the texture of the game. It was still to me a beautifully done game that almost felt as Gears 1. And as you guys know, I am a fan fan of
I
Gears.
can't wait till you see
Forgive.
this tech demo, bro. Like
Oh,
literally the oh my
I
god.
apologize. I did see it. I did see it. And it was a game that's not really a game. It's just a world, right? An Unreal Engine world.
Well, they got a
It kind of was.
character. They got a character moving in this world,
Yes, yeah. So I was reading that that's just a world that they use this engine in to just testing. That's not an actual game that's coming out or anything. That's
Oof,
just an environment
beautiful.
to just to test rendering, to test lighting and things like. I did see. It's coming back to me. Yeah, I did see it, and
The
it's still
detail,
beautiful.
the
I don't
detail,
know.
the
It just
world,
gets
the
more and
rocks. It's
more.
so crazy. Like
Yes.
sometimes you think like, how they gonna make something look better? Are we there yet? And then they come and do something like this with the ray tracing and everything. It looks beautiful.
Yep. It's Unreal Engine always been
It's in the name.
knocking out of the park. And I remember it is Unreal, yes. And I remember when they released the Unreal Engine 4 for developers to be able to create whatever game they wanted, and people were just running wild with it, and beautiful games came from it. It was, oh, man, I'm telling you, it's great things are gonna come from it. That's all I'm
You
gonna
know
say.
what kind of blows my mind is there's a couple things. So on YouTube, I've seen a couple clips of someone recreating Ocarina of Time in Unreal Engine. I don't know if you ever cat. Yeah, right. I'm surprised it's
Oh
still
man,
around. Maybe because it's just video and not actually something playable that Nintendo hasn't put out one of their cease and desists. But I think one of the greatest things of um, this demo of the Unreal Engine is it shows you that it doesn't matter what platform you're going to be playing on. This is going to push the the threshold even further for people.
right,
For developers to just be able to do more, lifting a lot of
right,
the restrictions we currently have. Taking into account what the engine has available and the hardware that's coming out. With the developer
right.
console. So I'm really excited to see what the Unreal Engine 5 has to offer.
It's just gonna be amazing things. And anytime I see the Unreal logo on the start of a game, I'm just gonna my heart is just gonna skip a beat from excitement.
Yeah, you're not lying, man. It just looks so good. Like I'm recapping it now, and it's just like the detail in the world is amazing.
It's always been great, and I kind of expected it, but I'm very ashamed that Paragon flopped for Epic because that
It
world
was, and I
was
like that game. Me and you played
beautiful.
it plenty of times.
A lot, yeah. We were in the beta. I think the first week it came out, and we played it a lot. I mean, not for nothing, the game was super complicated in the sense of developing,
But it was
growing your
smooth,
character out.
you know?
Uh,
It was
yeah, it was smooth. The world was beautiful, and it was definitely smooth. And
it just
I
didn't get
enjoyed
this
it a
traction,
lot.
that like League gets and Smite and all these other
All right.
games that are
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was just for me. because I play a lot of League of Legends. That map was way too big, and I know Smite's map is similar in size, if not probably a little bit smaller. But the Paragon map was huge, and not for nothing, that gears run effect that you had to get from point A to point B, I loved it. Jumping between waterfalls and cliffs and
Yeah,
whatnot through the quote
just
unquote
smooth.
jungle of
Yeah,
Paragon, I loved it. It was so smooth. It was a very smooth game, but all due to the Unreal Engine, right? That's what they were using
exactly.
to
Yeah,
create that
beautiful.
world, and
Now developers are gonna have
it's
new
so beautiful.
tools
It
too for that
never
the
fails.
Engine 5. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait.
And I hope they make an Unreal tournament using the Unreal Engine, right? You would think we haven't seen an Unreal tournament in a long time, but imagine one with the Unreal Engine 5. It's I mean, come on, I can't be the only one who's super
All
hyped
right,
for a
guys.
game like
Before we
that.
hit them with the game history monthly highlights, right? I do want to throw this in here because it's not in the agenda, but they came out with this Ghost of Tsushima, right? The trailer for it of the gameplay.
Hmm.
It's a PlayStation 4, 5 exclusive. I don't know if it's gonna go to the PlayStation 4, but I know it's gonna be on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, no, it's releasing next
Look at
month,
that.
bro.
And that game, it looks beautiful. I know, Cody, maybe no PlayStation 5, whatever, but it is a beautiful game, right? Like, this is what PlayStation is killing it at, right? They're exclusives and catering to other people. You could have it play in Japanese. So it's just like you're watching like a samurai anime, but it looks beautiful.
I'll say this, man: stream it, I'll watch it, and I won't have to buy a PlayStation to get the exact same content. That's all I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Hey,
say.
might just do that, man. What you thought about it?
Yeah, a couple things I did want to go over. So, want to try to um, cater to everyone here. One of the big things is that we have been playing video games for a long time. It's kind of like our primary hobby here. So, just wanted to
Yeah.
throw you guys a little gaming history here. In May of 1992, I believe, id Software released Wolfenstein 3D for MS DOS, which a lot of people aren't going to know what it is, but it was one of the games that popularized the first person shooter genre for the PC and led to the games that we're playing today.
Didn't they make Wolfenstein like in current console
They did. So they did
systems?
just like they did with Doom, right? Because Doom was like a successor to Wolfenstein in that same fashion, right? Doom 1 and 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. There was actually a secret level in Doom 2 which actually used one of the Wolfenstein levels from the
Huh.
original game. Yeah, right.
That's
um
pretty cool.
Now, one thing I did want to go over is I'm personally a bigger advocate for Game Pass than I was under its initial release. We do have a couple games that just released. We have Endless Legend, which is a strategy game where you play as one of 8 civilizations. Each has their own unique gameplay and story, from growing your own food, building your industries, science and magic, and even your economy. I'm gonna try to give that a look. An older classic here, Final Fantasy IX, only available originally on the PlayStation One, and I think Steam is now in the Game Pass library. And then we also have for the Halo Master Chief Collection, Halo 2, which blew up the multiplayer on the original Xbox. It was one of the core reasons I think that game was such a major success with the origin days of Xbox Live. Can you believe it? It's been so long. You also have Moving Out, Streets of Rage 4, which looks beautiful. One of the classic beat 'em up games, right? Uh, I cannot wait to give that a try. And then, just so you guys know, if you haven't given any of these a try, they have left as of May 15th. But that was Imperator Rome, A Rise of the Tomb Raider, The Banner Saga, West of Loathing, and speak of the devil, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. So if you missed those out, probably something you have to purchase. But Tomb Raider and Wolfenstein, definitely give them a go as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. You
awesome,
you
dude.
missed some
Thank you.
other big ones, man, because they got Red Dead Redemption 2 in Game Pass. They added that on the 7th, and that's huge. What a huge game.
I definitely did forget. I apologize. I bought it day one, so I completely forgot all about that. But yes, Red Dead Redemption 2 now in Game Pass,
That
and
service is just
I
amazing.
can
Like
spend
that's
hours on that game.
Alien Wake. Alien Wake is gonna be added on the 21st of this month. They got Fractured Minds in there and DayZ also. So I mean, Game Pass is an amazing service, man, for $10 a month
10 of those
for the
It's
15.
15
ultimate.
because they upgraded it to the for the ultimate, which I think is a great investment because getting it on Xbox, and I've been moving away from the Xbox myself since they have most of the releases on the PC, but I still go back and play some of the titles that I may have missed whenever I have a chance. So the ultimate I think is great in my opinion. Give it a shot. It's not required. They usually have a lot of good kind of deals. You can test it out for like $1 or two and see what you like.
I mean, we did the math, right? You need to enjoy at least three $60 games to get your money's worth.
Not even try them out and you get your
Yeah,
money's
well,
worth because you're not wasting that 60 for the game. So as long as you're trying most of those games out, and there's some fun indie games in there too. Ori is a good game. I know that's not a lot of people's thing,
oh, don't get me
but
started on
yeah,
Ori,
it's a beautiful game though.
bro.
I beat it. It's fantastic. I'm working through the second one now, and it's fun.
I, I still haven't beat the first one, but I think that's a wrap
All
for our
right,
first
guys, there's
episode.
the podcast. And wait. Let's get into what y'all been playing lately, real quick. What you been playing, Tortuga?
Man, so I'm all over the place because my schedule just opened up and I'm actually able to play games I've been collecting dust for years,
So you're working
literally
in the
years. I
on
am
the
touching
back
games that are
catalog, huh?
super old. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up so I can enjoy these new games. Honestly, I'm trying to play every game I've ever purchased because when Beyond Good and Evil 2 comes out, I'm probably never going to buy another game ever again. So, but all right, so what I'm playing currently, on that in the beta for Valorant, which I'm enjoying a lot. Play League of Legends when I can, and a bit of Overwatch. But storyline games is Bioshock, the first one. I just beat Quantum Break yesterday, which was an
Oh, so
awesome
you're
game.
hacking on that list pretty good.
And yeah, and I started Gears 4 today,
Perfect. All right, pixelated visionary.
which a lot of people.
What have you been up to?
You already know. So, I've been playing Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Kingdom Hearts 3, Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC because I got it day one on the Xbox, and yeah, I bought it again. That's how much I love that game. A little bit of Smite. Trying to get used to the PC controls since I played mainly on Xbox. And yes, I too have been in the Valorant beta, streaming that on Twitch. Um, I love it. I'm bad at it, but I want some more of it.
All right, man. Hey, not bad, man. I mean, guys, I've been on Warzone, right? Like Warzone. I like the battle royale
Yeah,
scene because I like just destroying kids, right? Most of the time I'm getting destroyed, but hey, we out there, right? We doing what we got to do. What else? Like I said, Ori and the Wisp Part 2 right now. I'm going through that. That's a huge fun game. They just gave Grand Theft Auto 5 on Epic Store for free. Another fantastic game. Yeah, just to run
nice.
around online and have a good time, man. Like
I can't believe it's been out for 7 years.
long time. Those games
Yes,
always hold up though.
that's
All the
right,
time.
bro.
I feel like no, I feel like it's been like 2 years max, and to come to find out it's been 7 years. Are you kidding
That
me?
is
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's insane, right? I think it was. I want to say it was the summer of 2013.
It's crazy. I mean, we can spend an entire hour talking about Grand Theft Auto 5 for sure. It's such a good game, but I think we should kick out with an outro. You guys want to give your name, your handles, and where people can
Yeah,
find you?
yeah. I'm GTV Punisher. First name is Ezekiel. Most people call me Zeke though, so you guys could just hit me with the Zeke. That's fine. GTV Punisher on Twitter. Please, guys, join our Discord. The community is always fun. We try to stream when we can and put it on Twitch, and we just have a good time and talk to you guys. That's what it's all about. So that Discord is Gamers TV. Come and have a look.
It is open. Yeah, it is open. Do a search for Gamers TV. You'll see a GTV logo on there. Come in, talk to us, and join us on our online games. We host a lot of events where we'll play with anyone who's available, and we'll try to get a lot of co-op where we can. So join in, come in. It's an open community. We accept and anyone and everyone. So come in, say hello, meet the cast, and I guess as I'm speaking, I'll go in with my handles. So my name's Curie, but you guys will hear me throughout the rest of the series called Tortuga. And you can find me on Twitch and Twitter with the same handle of GTV underscore Tortuga. And yeah, I stream all the games that I'm playing as I'm playing them. And they come in, say hello, Pixel.
Hey, thanks so much. So you can find me on Twitter. That's going to be GTV underscore pixelated. You'll find the same handle for my Instagram, which I'll be a lot more active in soon. And then we have the Twitch, which you can find me, twitch.tv / pixelated visionary.
Super fancy. All right, guys. Well, thanks for those of you who listened to our first episode, and we will be uploading weekly, outside of unexpected events. But you can expect a weekly upload from us, and we'll record on Sundays and release them on Monday. Is what we have currently scheduled. And reach out to us, give us some feedback, let us know what you think. Definitely open to hearing from the community, 100%.
Boom! Hit the button.